Hey, hello. I want to explain how Langchain works with a demo. So let's get started. Um, you must have heard about Langchain. It's a very buzzword after ChatGPT, especially in the programming world. So what Langchain is? I think the best things to know about Langchain is go to its document. It has a really great documentation if you start from the beginning. It's basically a framework for developing application powered by large language models, and it says it's a data centric, it has an agent centric components of the cells. But I want to simplify you what it is exactly. You might get everything from the documents, but basically this is a framework or a wrapper which can help you to make multiple calls to the LLM API. So in the LLM UI or ChatGPT UI, you basically ask a question, you get a response, you again ask a question, again get a response. So suppose you want to automate like and the conversation and then get out of a result. For example, let's say you are thinking of writing a story, right? So story might have a title, and then you get the story, and after you get the story you might want to write this some screenplay about that, and then you go to specific, let's say it has a song or something. So what you can do is you can manually ask this question, suggest me a story name, and it gives a story name. Okay, write me the story outline, and then you go to specific screenplay, all these things. So all these things you can basically automate. I'll show you an examples, different examples I have. So that's basically it. So but I want to quickly gist about what Langchain is with this uh, thing. uh, Sorry about the background noise. So one thing very important, when you install Langchain, there's three options minimum. Now if you just do pip install Langchain, it's going to install minimum things. But and if you want all the LLM supports, you should do Langchain with bracket LLM. And I would prefer you install everything, pip install Langchain and all, and it will give you all modules and integrations, and then you don't need to worry about unless you have a memory limitation. We have a so and so there's basically three component to Langchain. One is LLM. You need to provide what LLM you want Langchain to interact. It can be open API, and if you go here in the documentation, it has very good guidelines actually. If you go to the chains, actually it's in the module section. So let's go back to the introduction, and you see this use cases, and you see this various chains, memory, agent, and model. Yeah, let's go here, and you get what are the LLMs are there. So hold on, I'll show you. So the sequence of calls. So what I'm looking for is the list of LLMs. Yeah. Okay, so there is a list of LLM it supports. Let me go to the integration section quickly. Okay, yeah, so it's in the integration section. So basically it's a framework, right? And it's basically integrating with, it has a callback mechanism, document loader. So this is very important when you come to the Langchain documentation. I think you should start with the integration. It's basically it's an integration framework, right? Nothing more than that. And these are the LLMs actually it supports, which include Azure OpenAI, Banana, you have Cohere, and then you have Databricks, and of course you have OpenAI. So you can figure it out like this OpenAI. So we're going to use the OpenAI LLM here to, because that's the easiest way to show. There are others, and I'll go to how it works actually. So let's see. So I am actually, I installed earlier only uh, this. I'm going to install now, say all. Let's install everything. So because it's now installing everything. So you see so much of installation is happening for all. It's going to take some time. I'll pause the video. Oh my god, so there's so many installations. So I would say before you install everything, be careful. If you need anything, I thought it's better. But there are a lot. So I would better just run it again with a um, recommending so that my notebook looks clean. Um, was it still running? Let me pause the video. Okay, I think it took inside. It was taking some time. So it is done. um, how let's do a demo. So I'm now using an open api as an llm, so I need to of course set that open api key. Let's do that. And then I imported the llm from langchain.llm open api llm, and then set the temperature. And I'm just trying to see, simple asking open api this question you must have seen already. It's going to talking to open api inside the langchain and giving me the response. This is very simple. Now the second thing comes, we should talk about the prompt template, because you can write a simple string, that's what we do, but that is the important thing. So prompt template is, it gives you a structured behavior, right? So in your prompt there might be something static and something variable. Let's say country. Let's say I want to open a restaurant and this is the country, and your app may be just enable opening restaurant in multiple countries. So you can country as a variable you can put, and that's why input variable you put country. So now use a prompt template and format Italian. Let's see. Okay, so I want to open a Italian. That's a prompt. Now suggest me some good name. This is what I want to ask. And now we can pass. So this is my prompt basically. Now we can just say we can form a chain, and this is the meat of it, right? The most important thing about LangChain is chains and chain, and that's what llm chain. When we talk to large language model, I have a chain of conversation. That's what I want to form. So I want to form a structured way so that I don't have to manipulate a lot of strings. And so I say okay, chain. I have given the prompt template, given the llm as an input. Now I say chain dot run Mexican. So I want a name for Mexican. So okay, it's a, you can just say you can say one thing, Chinese, China. It's a, okay, China garden. Okay, so you can say anything like that. And let's say now in the prompt template you can introduce many variables, not just one. You can have comma separated multiple variables. So earlier we saw, now we might want, let's say you got a name, right? Now for that name, suggest me some food menu for restaurant name this. So we want the name of that. So we have another prompt template now with the restaurant name. Let's see. We have that, and then want to say, that's what we got the name earlier. I say okay, China. uh, so interesting thing what we did, we actually formed a chain here. So that is what the first thing in the Langchain helps us, right? So now we are not, human is out of the loop. So we said okay, first get a restaurant name from the llm, then based on the name suggest me the food name. So it's happening two things, right? Two things. So that's why we form two different chains, and we pass those chains, chain one, chain two, pass those chains in a chain variable. And that's why there are various types of chains. It's a simple sequential chain when sequential conversation happen. So instead of now it says okay, so it first say it directly gives you the value. Okay, I think it's, this is maybe a bug um, in Langchain why the values are coming. It should be just coming well and separated. So you can just put here in India here. It will first propose an name for Indian restaurant, and then it will give you the menu directly. Okay, so so it's got a different one now. Now the next thing is in the prompt template we just saw, we have an in country, and then some template is in template name, and then the food menu. and then we basically have a chain name. We said output key is this, and the food menu is llm chain. We just did these two, and now we can just say okay, so we are forming the sequential change. We send input variable is country, and I want output variable both restaurant name and menu items both. See, last we were not getting the restaurant name and menu item. Now we are specifying what should be the input variable and output variable, and how it is coming. So because those variable must match when you define those things, right? Input variable and output variable you have right already, and when you get that template, you set output key as a restaurant name in the chain, and here you say menu items. Now that is why you basically now saying okay, and this is my input and output, you print it. Okay, now I'm saying country equals to India. Let's see what comes. Okay, look, we got an India, and then restaurant name is proposed this, and this is, we given entire detail information in a structured format. Okay, now next thing is we want to show you the beauty of Langchain is that we know most of this language model has a limitation of facts, right? It is trained on certain time of the data, like in 2021 OpenAPI GPT model has trained. If I ask him okay, current age of our US president, it may not answer because it doesn't know, it cannot say that. So that's why we might want to install Wikipedia. I'm not going to do that again, it's already done. I have installed it. So this is Wikipedia here is nothing but an external thing, all right? So you can see if you go to the I mean I'll come to that. So that's kind of, it's talking to an external integrations. So there are very various things that are available in Langchain. When you click on the integrations, it will show you like callbacks, retrievers. I think, let's see, it should be, it's a tools actually, yeah. I think Wikipedia is a tools. Yeah, look, Wikipedia is a tool. That's why we are kind of getting, so we can call various tools like Wikipedia is a freely available tool. um, and similarly Tolio is there. The various tools are there, and we can see similarly if you go here in integration we have retrievers. Let's see what is in the retrievers is there. I mean like Cassandra Chad. So we can see, I think that's a different concept of retrievers, but I think here we are using tools. So let's use that tools. We say okay, this is the load tools. We define the tool. We say I want to Wikipedia, and I also want to this LLM math. These two tools I wanted to load, and this is my LLM. And then I define an agent. That's where most important, everybody is talking about what is this agent, autonomous agents. It's going to not only going to automate the conversation, it also have an ability to talk to the external system like Wikipedia. So I'm initially I'm saying tools, this is the, and I'm saying zero sort interaction. That means agent type is, it's going to do all in zero short learning. We're not going to give any examples, everything is going to happen on the fly. So now say, if I say what is the age, I'm going to change that. I'm going to say age of US president. Let's see. See, it's telling current U.S. president of the United States is Joe Biden, who is 78 years old. How does it know? We'll come to know how. We'll break it up. How does it work? So you see, there's a concept called this chain, which we defined earlier. It has a memory also. This memory is non-type right now. We'll talk about this chain. So another thing is that when this conversation, it has to retain, right? It asks one call, then second call, then third call. This, it's historic history was adding that is what called conversational buffer memory. It's like a simple data structure you're storing in a variable inside it does. So when I say I'm going to run the old chain again for an Indian restaurant, let's say, and it defined one, and then I'm going to run again for a Mexican restaurant, defined one, and if I print that my chain, you see I have all this. Human asked this, AI gave this, human asked this. It has kept very structurally. That's good thing about Langchain. It makes things easy. Now go back to the previous thing which you saw, right? In Wikipedia section, you saw that it's basically directly telling how. So this is very important thing. Please, guys, understand how this retrieval augmented generation RAG works. And this is the future of this is not future, this is the current actually everybody is using. So LLM, you need to get it, make it work with your own data, right? You need to um, decorate it with external data or any specific integration. So now what it does is basically, but so to enrich LLM, you have to, various options is there. You can use few short learning, you can give some examples, and you can ask LLM to learn from that and reason from that, and then you can do that. And then, so here what we are doing is basically we are actually showing, that's why verbal is equals to true I have. So I am giving again age of US president. It's saying agent chain executor mode. So what it does is first talk to Wikipedia. It say, hey, who is the US president? Tell me something about US president. It gives you the immediately the page of Joe Biden and some data, and this is the data. Then we feed it to Langchain LLM like OpenAPI and say, hey, given this data, calculate and tell me the age of Joe Biden. And that's how it is. It's like a in context learning. So the simplest way is in context learning, right? To add a new knowledge to LLM is in context learning. You can give that is what the biggest thing came up after Chat GPT. Other before that, we were always thinking about fine tuning, transfer learning. All this technique was there to enhance the knowledge of an existing language model. But this in context learning given a power right now, and where you don't have to, because this is fine tuning a model is again needs a lot of CPU memory, but sometimes you have to do that. In context learning is not always going to work out, especially if you have a lot of, you have a limitation of context size, right? I mean, I think people are talking about 1 trillion context size. Microsoft done a paper, but I still think it's not going to work out at an accurate level. So hope this helps you. This is a quick introduction of Langchain. Feel free to comment and like this my channel and video. um, Hope you enjoy.